Unajua kuna watu wanatutisha, wanafikiria they are now above the law. Wanafikiria hawatashikwa, wanafikiria hawatafungwa. I am going to tell you.
The past because of political violence, and we will not want our country to go back there.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is a story that is currently developing in regards to the arrest of the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua on his latest remarks that he made on an interview with Oga Obina on the Obina Show Live. Now, as we speak currently, certain developments are happening in different places and in different homes of the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Now, allow me to take you back to a video I did earlier. If you go back and revisit that analysis that we did as the first analysis of the day, I told you of a plan to arrest Rigathi Gachagua. I told you of the pushing that the state is using to push Rigathi Gachagua to the corner so that Rigathi Gachagua will act out of his comfort zone so that they will arrest him. Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, when he spoke today, it was a clear sign that they had it all planned to arrest the former DP. When you hear the sentiments made today by the PA to the President Farouk Kibet, you understand that the trajectory that they were heading was preparing the ground to accept that the Rigathi of Rigathi Gachagua is like of any other leader. The same, if you listen to sentiments made by the Cabinet Secretary of Interior Kipchumba Murkomen yesterday and today and even before, he has always been preparing for the arrest of Rigathi Gachagua, preparing the minds of Kenyans using sentiments to make Kenyans understand that Rigathi Gachagua has violated the secrecy oath that he took while he got to the office of the Deputy President, and also to make Kenyans understand that Rigathi Gachagua is a man that needs to be tamed. Are we together? Now, when we look at what happened on Thursday last week, Rigathi Gachagua launched his DCP party. After launching his DCP party, goons were set to disrupt the event. But Rigathi Gachagua's people and supporters countered the goons, and also they became goons in dealing with those goons that were sent by the state. Now, Rigathi Gachagua is a man that knows how to deal with William Ruto, and that we can't take it away from him. When Rigathi Gachagua launched his party, and I tell you the reason why now they have reached a point of arresting him is to tame how this party that he announced the other day, the DCP party, is currently gaining wave in the country. Because since the launch of Rigathi Gachagua, as we speak right now, over 5 million people have registered in that party. What did these people do and where did they come from? They went ahead to deregister themselves from the UDA party and register themselves in Rigathi Gachagua's new party. Now, that is something that has made the UDA government and the government of President William Ruto to find countermeasures to deal with Rigathi Gachagua. And one countermeasure that they found is to use sentiments that were made by Rigathi Gachagua during the interview that he did with Obina, where he said that if William Ruto rigs the 2027 general election, then 207 will look like a Christmas party or a joke because of what will happen to the country in the year 2027. Are we together? Now, allow me to dive deep into the analysis with the current report that we are receiving. According to blogger Maverick Aoko, she has told us this. Hundreds of DCI, blue uniform, and NIS have camped outside Gachagua's 3 homes, Wamunyoro, Karen, and other one around Olive Gardens. The hotel, they said, is snatched from his brother's widow. The reason being, if Ruto rigs 2027, 207 will look like a joke. Rigathi Gachagua is safe for now, but will he continue being safe as we go on? That is the question that Maverick Aoko has asked after exposing the intent of them trying to abduct the former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua. Apart from that, I want to look at a certain statement that has been published by the Wiper Party leader and one of the principles of the principles of the opposition. Kalonzo Musyoka has said this in regards to the arrest of Rigathi Gachagua. 25 minutes ago, Kalonzo posted and said, "This intimidation of the opposition must stop. Mr. Ruto, if you want to arrest Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, do it the right way. Follow the law. We are prepared to produce DP Gachagua before the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. Please stop abducting Kenyans and their leaders. Abductions are primitive and cowardly." That is Kalonzo Musyoka putting a signature on these claims that Rigathi Gachagua is on the verge of being arrested. Tuko pamoja. Now I tell you, the people, the state under William Ruto, they have realized that they have used every tool at their disposal, including hired bloggers, including tainting the name of the former deputy president, but they have failed in every one of them to make Rigathi Gachagua retreat and stop attacking the government. I should ask a question. If Rigathi Gachagua is to be arrested, what should happen to the Cabinet Secretary of Interior, Kipchumba Murkomen, who even Rigathi Gachagua and the team have filed a petition at the ICC, the International Criminal Court, over sentiments made by Kipchumba Murkomen that William Ruto will win the elections of the year 2027 in every way. They will do everything to make sure that President William Ruto retains his presidency in the elections of the year 2027. He disregarded the constitution. He disregarded the court of law. He disregarded the democracy that we enjoy as Kenyans when he made those sentiments. It was a clear statement indicating that they were ready to rig the elections of the year 2027. As we know, Rigathi Gachagua has not attacked the recent formation of the IEBC. It has been the work of Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, and Eugene Wamalwa. Rigathi Gachagua has had nothing to do with that. Are we together? Now, come to this other side. These people have they have gone ahead to put an IEBC that they can control in place to be the one that will make the decision of the elections of the year 2027. An IEBC that even the chairperson is a President William Ruto loyalist. Why are they not dealing with those pertinent issues that we all as Kenyans can see? The sentiments made by Rigathi Gachagua was not a pronouncement of war. It was just a mere reference to an election that will come. It hasn't happened. It is sentiment made for an election that will come. That is in the year 2027. And in comparison to something that happened in the past, in the year 2007, where President William Ruto, then as a member of Parliament of Eldoret North, was named as one of the 6 suspects that were called to appear at the International Criminal Court, the ICC. Remember, the famous Ocampo 6. So, Rigathi Gachagua was making those sentiments and referencing them with certain occurrences like calling the president and involving him with the Kiambaa church murder or the Kiambaa church massacre. It is something that has always been in public domain. It is something that the International Criminal Court brought in court during the persecution and the prosecution of William Ruto in his case in Hague. So in terms of constitution, we see no basis for deployment of officers to try and arrest Rigathi Gachagua. If they fail to arrest Rigathi Gachagua, what other mechanisms can they deploy? Should Kenyans be worried that the life of Rigathi Gachagua is in danger? Yes, we accept some certain sentiments made by Rigathi Gachagua are sentiments that are so sensitive. But do these sentiments have evidence attached to them? Sure they do. So why should the state deploy the security agencies to arrest Rigathi Gachagua? That is one mistake that they will make that will prompt people to hate William Ruto even more. If we can't take criticism from the opposition, then what good is the democracy that we say we have? Where is Raila Amolo Odinga in all this? That is the question. For now, all we can say is a matter of let's wait and see. Because as we speak, intelligence have it that deployment of police officers and DCI officers together with the NIS agents have been deployed in 3 homes of Rigathi Gachagua, the one in Karen and the one around Olive Gardens in Nairobi and also in Wamunyoro. But they haven't gotten hold of Rigathi Gachagua because the man had received intelligence earlier that an arrest plot was being deployed. And looking at how all the state officers have been speaking, like how the DP has been speaking today, Kedora Kendeke, how Kipchumba Murkomen, the cabinet secretary of Interior, has been speaking, how Aden Duale has been speaking, how Kimani Ichung'wah has been speaking, how one Oscar Sudi reacted and called out Rigathi Gachagua, telling him not to speak about the 207 post-election violence. All pointers were towards the arrest of Rigathi Gachagua. So Rigathi Gachagua knew they would be coming for him, and that is why he is not in those 3 homes that they are trying to arrest him in. Wadau, mchezo umeanza. Karata chafu ya siasa imeanza. Kama ile tuliona mwaka 2022. It was then William Ruto who underwent everything with Rigathi Gachagua by his side. Now it is William Ruto who is punishing his former deputy president. Wadau, unaambiwa this life has no balance. Subscribe. See you in our next video.